The men's hockey team continues its Michigan road trip with a pair of games at Michigan State this weekend. Friday's game starts at 6 p.m., while Saturday is a 1:30 p.m. start. Head coach Mike Eaves is here, and we'll take questions. Dennis?
What did you learn on your trip to Michigan? What did you saw that you couldn't hang on when it seemed like you had good and bad out of that.
Yeah, Friday night we made the analogy that when you play a hockey game, it's a lot like taking a test or a quiz where it's a pass-fail. You answer some questions right, but you got to answer enough questions to pass the test. And we didn't do that on either night. I mean, I watched film yesterday, and I'm just amazed at the really good things that we've done. And yet, when we had our breakdowns, they seem to end up in the back of our net. So it's all part of our growth and our journey as a young team is to, eliminate those things. And we are eliminating. There's not as many chances against, but when they're happening, they're costing us. And you still have to solve the riddle of how this young team holds on to a lead that we have created at least 4 or 5 times this year. But again, talking to Red Berenson when he came off the bench, he says, that was a hell of a hockey game. He says, we were lucky to win. You guys were good. And again, we're putting together film for the guys today. It's just amazing how many good things that we did. And in a tough environment, and when they tried to get physical, we met their challenge, and we created scoring chances, and we won the specialty teams game. But it was, the same thing we've been talking about all year. Coming into our zone was especially troublesome for us this past weekend as we gave up goals on that. But, man, did we do some good things. And again, we're going in the right direction, and we got to answer more questions on the right side of it so that we can get that pass and get a W in that left-hand column.
Andy?
Mike, you look at Tim Davison's numbers, and they kind of jump off the page at you in a variety of ways. 5 goals, minus 12. Are you okay with that equation?
Well, the obvious answer would be no. But at the same time, what Timmy has done with the puck has always been his strength. And since last year, I mean, Timmy and I had a real good heart-to-heart talk about his play, and he's made improvement with his play without the puck. He's still, because he's an offensive defenseman, he's always been allowed to get away with, oh, don't worry about you gave up a goal there, Timmy. It's much like the Carlson boy that plays for Ottawa. He's at that level, he's maybe one of the best offensive, but he gets beat all the time, and I'm sure it drives his coach nuts too. And so working with Timmy, it's about how do we get better with your play without the puck? And he knows about it. We've seen video. The thing is, we're trying to create new habits over bad habits he's had his whole life. We're going in the right direction. It's a slow process, but I can honestly tell you he's aware of it, and we're making strides.
What kind of bad habits have really gotten ingrained with him? I mean, some guys, it's just instinctive. I think of Brendan Smith, his willingness to jump up in the play and compromise.
For Timmy, where his bad habits lie is that when he's playing without the puck and he gets to a situation where he's going to have that moment of truth with a player with the puck, he drops his eyes and becomes focused on the puck. And in hockey, they talk about, you lost your jockstrap back there. The guy took it off you because he made a good move. Well, that happens to Timmy. So it's about him focusing on what we try to do is you got to have your toes up ice and you got to go through the man. Not that Timmy's going to hammer a guy, but he can put his stick between his legs and control him physically. So, again, it's something that we talk about every week, we work at, and I can honestly tell you that we've seen improvement in practice. But in a game when it's all happening, that's the moment of truth.
Mike, what is making your power play work so well right now?
Well, we have pretty good people on both units. I mean, one of the differences that we've talked all year is our speed and our skill level of our team is at a higher level than we were able to experience last year. And it's fun to watch the games in video because so much of offense is taking what is given to you. We call it twig. And our guys are doing that at a high level now. When the young man with the puck, he's like the quarterback, and defense is giving you something. There's something open. We have an extra guy. And they have to be able to find that, and we did a nice job of finding that open guy on the weekend.
When you have an 18-year-old in the net, how do you kind of manage his psyche as he goes through the highs and lows and the growing pains?
A lot of that has to deal with, there's pucks going in the net, and part of that is the people in front of you and in certain situations, and we will handle that. But we're able to show them like he made some really good saves also. And I think that would kind of balances out the scale in his own mind in terms of keeping his confidence and knowing that he's doing some good things. So working with Jeff Sanger, like today on Monday, they'll look at all his goalie touches or the saves he made and how he handled the puck. So there's a balance that's being met by the goals that are going in, how we can stop from those if they are his fault, but also some of the good saves and his positioning in the net. So it's a process, but we give him both sides of the coin.
Mike, since beating North Dakota, has your team improved, and if so, where are those big moments, those big elements?
I would say this, Eddie, that we're not giving up as many scoring chances against we're coming at a higher rate from line rushes against into our own defensive zone coverage. This past weekend in Michigan, today in video, we'll be able to show our guys how we're taking time and space away a lot quicker against teams that we're playing in our own zone, and it's a good thing. One of the main things why we're being better in our own zone.
How much different is the challenge playing Michigan State from the team you just faced?
It's different in the fact they're not as wide open a team. Michigan has great capacity to, if you're going to give the puck up in the neutral zone, they're going to be back in your face and legitimately have a chance to score, as we found out. Michigan will be a team that relies on their goaltending, and they'll really close down around the net. It'll be tough to get pucks through. They literally will eat pucks to prevent them from getting to the net. So we'll have to be intelligent about our shot selection and how to create shooting lanes for our guys. And actually, we'll need to find, sticks in front of the net rather than shoot to the net, get sticks that are outside the net so we can get some tip-ins. So it'll be a different style for sure, but it's based on how they like to play in their own zone and what ability they have to get up and down the ice.
Brian, can you explain Ryan Wagner's improved production?
I think it's just confidence. Again, we've talked about Ryan before. When he was playing midget hockey, he was the captain of a team that won a national championship, and he was their leading goal scorer, and he went to the national program his senior high school and was actually asked to do a different role. And then as a freshman, he came in. He had a lot of scoring chances early, but he didn't get rewarded, and that you kind of lose your offensive mojo. And I think that happened last year, but he's got that from day one, like coming back this year. History tends to repeat itself, and he's got that going for him. And he's doing what he did in midget hockey. He's in front of the net, getting rebounds, playing well, and he's being rewarded for it this year.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.